This is Butch from RC Heliworks. Over the past several weeks, I've had my RAH-66 Comanche apart for an annual inspection. During that inspection, the main drive motor bearings were replaced, the main rotor shaft bearings were replaced, the main rotor head grip bearings were disassembled, cleaned, inspected, and relubed, then reassembled. The tail drive motor bearings were replaced, the tail rotor drive shaft bearings were cleaned, inspected, and relubed. The tail gearbox bearings were replaced, and the gear mesh was checked in the tail gearbox. Over the next few days, I'll download all the data from the ESCs, start fresh for the new year, and look at some of the data from the last flights, and kind of go from there. Tail gearbox is all back together, looking good. Of course, I'll be going through the stabilization system to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, everything is adjusted correctly, checking all my throws and travels, and of course going through a rig check on the main rotor to make sure it's where it's supposed to be after disassembly and inspection and reassembly. I'm using an old Heli Command. I think I bought that box in 2010. Wow, that's some old school shit right there. Whoop, can I say that? Anyway, going with new batteries this year, going with 6S 5200 milliamp on 44 volts on the main. This is a 2400 milliamp 6S battery that drives the tail on 22 volts. The two saddle batteries are 2400 milliamp 6S or 2S batteries for flight controls and accessories. That's the servo for the main landing gear retract assembly and the modified retract assemblies, which are off the shelf, just modified to do what I needed them to do. Of course, I run a central box, jetty, everything, so I have telemetry, and it talks to me and tells me some important stuff sometimes. Anyway, the 2022 AMA Nationals, this aircraft took first place in the sport scale competition. That same year, it also took first place in the RAH scale competition. I've owned this aircraft or been flying this aircraft for about 10 or 11 years. It's a great flying machine. I will have this out at Helistorm at the National Air Force Museum, May 29th through June 1st. I believe it's free to the public, so if you're out in the area and want to come out and see some beautiful scale aircraft, that'll be the place to be. So if you see the Comanche hanging out, drop by the tent, say hello, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks for dropping by.